Hey, what is up, everybody? It is nowonshall coming back to you with another Star Trek Fleet Command video. Today, we're going to talk about raiding. Little tips that might help you guys actually raid more efficiently as a group versus not being as a group. When you're doing a solo raiding, it's usually easy because you're doing that alone. But we'll get into the conversation right after I drop this ball, my normal stigma, my normal plug, as you want to call it. Don't forget to hit that like button, that subscribe button, that bell notification down below. Below that is a Discord. If you hit that see more button, come join my Discord. Under that is a donation link. If you want to donate, click that donate button and donate to me. It would greatly help me out. Below that is a join button. Become a member for either 2, 5, 10, 20 a month, depending on however you want to do it. However you want to help me out as a viewer, or you just like my content, just click that join button and become a member and help me out. Alright, so we're going to talk about just some general aspects of raiding. And so when you're raiding, I'm going to use where I'm at as an example, because we had a raid that we did the other night. And if you have a generalized rotation of how you're raiding somebody, it could be the most efficient way possible to loot people as a group versus clustering on top of a base. Because if you cluster on top of a base, your numbers are going to get low. It's going to get congested. You just be sitting there clicking away, and it becomes painful at that point, and you slow down the total amount you're able to raid per hour. And why is that important? So let's zoom into where I'm at. So any of you guys that are in this video, you're in the video now. So let's say I'm raiding, let's say Ray. So if I was raiding Ray, it'd be easy shot, boom, 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 right? But what if we have a planet full of your allies and your raiding target? So instead of clustering on top of your target with many miners, you would go from, let's say, clockwise, counterclockwise, where you want to go in. You want to go in a rotation. You want to go in the most efficient way possible. Use one miner. Don't use multiple miners, because that's just being greedy. And if you're using one miner at a time, you can make your raiding go pretty fast. So for me, it'd be me go, and then it would be him, and you just rotate. You keep in that rotation, and you can determine the time you're raiding at, or the time that it takes to raid a target. So if it was here, that'd be a 5-second interval. If it, let's say, it was from across the map, like Snug, he's, let me click on the map. So he's 2 seconds out. So once my miner starts hitting at 5 seconds, then you take that differential. So if it's 5 seconds for me to do my full circle around that for the rotation, or for the raid, then you set yourself to a 3-second interval. So you wait, you count 1, 2, 3, send your miner. And once your miner hits, it should automatically start raiding. If you could get that 5-second interval down every time, there's going to be not a stop. If you guys are paying attention, sometimes you screw up the rotation, sometimes stuff like that happens, and it's bound to happen. If you keep a rotation going, it's the most efficient way possible. We had a raid the other night where this guy had 6 billion resources, and we had 5 of us. Well, it started with 2, then with 3, then 4, but it was me and my guy Maury. It was me and him. We were just 1, 2, 1, 2. We were switching off quickly. And then a third person came in, and they saw the rotation. They kept in that rotation. Then a fourth person, Sith Lord, you need to pay attention to the game, started to screw up the rotation. And then he finally noticed when I said in chat, rotation Sith. He joins rotation. And then we had another guy, our guy Ibsy came in, and he was coming with his Vordivore. Which, let's not even talk about the Void of War, because it's not a worthwhile ship to raid with. And I'll tell you about that in a second. And he didn't notice the rotation at first, and then he noticed. He's like, oh, okay, there's a rotation going. And it was going good. We were doing about 1 billion an hour of raiding. And if you can go the most efficient way possible in that, you can drain people pretty quick. Versus cluster on somebody, you'll drop your billion an hour to 500 million an hour, or whatever the miner's capacity is. You'll slow it down to a screeching halt. You'll slow your alliance down if you're using more than one miner, or you're not going in rotation, or you're just clustering on top of the base. It doesn't make any sense to cluster. It's, as you go in a rotation, it's the most efficient way possible. No matter if, let's say it was just me, then Vegan, then Marshall, then Snug. As long as you're going in that rotation, you'll be fine. Or if you're able to do that time set differential on raiding, so you know it takes 5 seconds for a full raid to happen with your miner, and if you can do that differential math in your head every time, you're to be able to seamlessly raid somebody quickly instead of 2-second gaps here, 4 seconds gaps there, 5 seconds gaps there. it's all about time and efficiency when you're raiding somebody. Like when you're raiding alone, it's just you pop, 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 pop. But if it's as a group, you want to work as a group. You don't want to be like, I'm going to be greedy. I'm going to send 4 miners at this, or 3 miners, and just cluster the raid down. You want to be the most efficient way possible and not trying to steal all the resources for yourself. You're doing this as an alliance. So if your alliance shares it in AC, then you know it's going to be a alliance related thing, and you guys want to work as a seamless unit and not as a disorganized cluster. I still want to curse on this, but I can't. And when you're actually doing it, so let's use let me grab my keyboard out. So keyboard, there we go. So keyboard, and we're looking at officer loadout right now with Stan and Pan and Navi. I believe she's Navi. I always forget her name. I think it's Navi. Yep, it's Navi. On there, you'd have a speed crew, so you're speeding into it quickly. So you're cutting some time off during your raid for if you're in that differential space. And right now I'm doing about 3.3 million in loot for this. And I wonder if I pull him off and I grab another miner. So let's see what we go up to if we use a synergy. So let's look outside. Let's click on it now. We're at about still the same thing. So synergy does not affect the amount you can raid. So that it does not affect. So if you run just base crew, since we only have 1 officer that increases our cargo capacity, then use not a Pan and Navi for speed. It'll get your you'll get your speed better. If we look at, let's say the warp speed, 128 with not Pan and Navi, correct? And then let's go over here. Let's go grab my Antares. There's my Antares. And let's look at the difference. So 95 to 120 something in speed. That's going to take some time off your differential. Let's say you guys are raiding, let's say Ben. I'm going to use you as an example since you're in this map and unshielded. So here's Benethan right here. So Ben is this distance away. So how long does it take me to get my miner there? Approximately 25 seconds from where I'm at. If I swap to my Antares, it goes to 33 seconds. So right here, this alone is shaving you 8 seconds off your raiding time, off your difference time. And that will build up as time progresses. So on that, if you're raiding someone like this, it's a little bit harder when you're like raiding in, let's say, Raider, and the other ones that are those systems that you basically have to fly in, or to TC. You want to be able to come in at a rate where you're not still clustering up on it. You don't want to cluster on a base. You want to make it efficient. I know warp times can be different between everybody, so you can't go in a exact rotation. So that's when the clustering comes into play, where you guys are just clustering on top of it, and your rating potential goes down. I know rating potential. I know that's a weird one, but there is a significant amount of rating potential in this game currently to take advantage of, and to be able to increase the potential amount you're able to raid from somebody as a group versus as a group that's disorganized. You can go down from 1 billion an hour to 500 million an hour from clustering. If you guys can figure that out as a group, it will help you guys out greatly, increase the profits you make in the game from raiding. And like I said, I wanted to go into G4 miners. So I would refrain, if you're a higher level player, using a G4 miner to raid, unless you can afford the repair cost. But let's say somebody comes on during a raid, and your miner comes in, smashes into it, explodes. They're on 100 million in trit, and you're barely into the steel wall. Your raiding has become pointless at that point. Do not use those ships to raid. They are not worthwhile to raid with, because the cost alone to repair them, and the cost just alone to repair them, because 100 million, if you're not rated over like 200-300 million, and you smack into that base, or somebody smacks your miner, you just lost a lot of resources. Gotta think about this. One of my guys is like, why are you using your K-Vor versus your Bakor? I'm like, one, my K-Vor pulls 3.3 million an hour versus my Bakor. I'll show you right now just so you guys can see it. Swap into this big old beetle that I hardly use. And we look at, so it shows 1 million here, and the impulse speed is slower, as you can see, as a tier 3. And as you see right here, I can only read 1.9 million an hour with my big head in the way up here. But yeah, it's just that potential. You want to build a raid at a quicker rate, at a more efficient rate with your team. I know this video is dragged on, but that's what this video is about, is the raiding potential. I think I'll name this video Raiding Potential. Great idea, no one. Thank you. But anyways, besides that, I wish there was a research increased miner capacity to make these raids go a little bit quicker. But besides that, don't forget to like the subscribe button. that, bell notification down below. And below that is a Discord link. Hit that see more button. Come join that Discord. And below that is a donation link. If you guys want to donate, you can click that button and donate. And besides that, hit that join button. Become a member for either $2, $5, or $20 a month. I'd greatly appreciate it. I love you guys. Have a wonderful day. Peace out.